If you're one of my followers, this jewelry box might look familiar. I did the same one just a couple weeks ago. I love picking up these jewelry boxes in thrift stores, getting them home, taking them apart and cleaning them, and then getting them ready for paint. The first thing I do after I clean it and take it apart is give it one good coat of bonding gloss. Dixie Belle's Bonding Gloss is an adhesion and stain blocking primer, and in this case I'm painting metal, so we're going to paint right over that also for the hardware that does not come off, and we're going to make sure that the paint sticks on there for longevity. After that's done, we're going to wait 24 hours, pick out our colors, and begin to paint. I'm going with two chalk mineral paint colors called Rusty Nail and Apricot, and I think they're going to be absolutely beautiful with the transfer that I chose. I take my larger brushes and put the two colors on. I will get an artist brush later and do any fine detail painting, but right now I'm just getting two even coats of paint on. The first coat, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be blending the second coat over it. This is just to make sure that there's not two distinct lines between the paint that I won't be able to blend out later. After I get those two coats gently blended together, this is what it looks like. And then I get the brand new Autumn Morning Transfer, which is a mid-sized transfer from Dixie Belle and absolutely perfect for this box. This transfer is absolutely beautiful with all its colors. It's greens and apricots and yellows and neutrals. I put a neutral color on the glass. The glass is also painted with bonding gloss and then the color burlap. That way I have a little bit of a contrast between the door and the rest of the ombre on the rest of the box. I put the bigger flowers down on the door, and I will put some other flowers on there later. Sometimes when you have transfers hanging off, you want them to separate. You can put a piece of paper under them so that they don't lift any of the other transfer. So you can see me doing that there, so it separates along that glass, and I make sure that I don't rip any of that transfer. Once I get those flowers done and the flowers on the boxes, I get out my Best Dang Wax and Brown. I do want to say before this step, I did put a coat of flat sealer on it. What the sealer does is it gives me a little bit of a barrier between the wax and the porous chalk paint. If I was sealing on wax, I would not seal before then, but I'm not. I'm using wax just as an accent around the edges, giving it a little bit of antiquing or grunge, whatever you want to call it. That way, if it's sealed, the porous paint does not suck in that wax and I can wipe it away. So I just have like a little bit of a grungy haze left over. I do this on the doors and the sides, as well as the drawers and the hardware. This time I'm leaving the hardware just painted and not putting any gold or color back on them. So I needed to grunge them up a little bit. Look how pretty this box came out with this autumn inspired floral. I absolutely love it. It's totally different than the first one that I did, but that's what I do. Each one's different and unique. You guys have a good night.